Before you board that flight back to the United States, before you send that next WhatsApp message, you need to watch this video. The U.S. government has quietly expanded its surveillance of immigrants, and 3 types of people are now at serious risk every time they travel. This is not a rumor. This is happening right now, and it could affect you or someone you love. Welcome back to Immigration Radar USA, the channel that keeps you informed, protected, and ahead of every major change in U.S. immigration law. I'm your host, and today we are covering one of the most alarming shifts we have seen in recent immigration enforcement. We are talking about digital surveillance at the border, and specifically how U.S. authorities, including ICE, that stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and CBP, which is Customs and Border Protection, are now looking at your phone, your apps, and yes, even your WhatsApp messages when you enter or re-enter the United States. This update is based on official government actions, confirmed reporting from credible legal sources, and recent cases involving immigrants who were stopped, detained, or denied entry, all because of what was found on their devices or social media profiles. We will cover what is actually happening at ports of entry, who is most at risk, what you should do before you travel. So stay with me, because this information could protect your immigration status, your visa, or your green card. Let's start with the big question. Is ICE really watching your WhatsApp? The short answer is yes, they can, and they are. Here is what you need to understand. Point 1. The legal authority. U.S. law enforcement, specifically CBP officers, have what is called border search authority. This means that at any U.S. port of entry, whether that is an airport, a land border crossing, or a seaport, CBP officers have the legal right to search your belongings without a warrant. And since around 2017, this authority has been extended to include electronic devices, your phone, your tablet, your laptop. They can ask you to unlock your phone. They can scroll through your messages. They can check your WhatsApp, your Telegram, your Signal, your Facebook Messenger. They can look at your photos, your contacts, and your call history. And if you refuse, that refusal itself can be used against you. And in the case of visa holders or green card holders, it can lead to serious consequences, including denial of entry. Point 2. What changed recently? This is not entirely new, but what has changed dramatically in recent months is how aggressively this authority is being used. Under the current administration, the Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, has significantly increased the number of device inspections at ports of entry. According to official CBP data and reporting from immigration law organizations, device searches have gone up by a significant margin compared to just a few years ago. Officers are now trained to look for specific things, including messages that express anti-government or anti-administration sentiments, photos or posts that could suggest the person has ties to protests or political movements, conversations that indicate unauthorized work in the U.S., messages about visa overstays or plans to stay beyond an authorized period. Any communication related to immigration fraud, and here is where WhatsApp becomes especially important, because so many immigrants, especially from Latin America, South Asia, the Middle East, and Africa, use WhatsApp as their primary communication tool. If your WhatsApp has messages that could be misunderstood, or in some cases clearly show something an officer considers a red flag, you could be pulled into secondary inspection, detained for hours, or denied entry entirely. Point 3. Social media screening. It is not just about your phone at the border. The U.S. government has been expanding social media vetting as part of the visa application and immigration benefit process. The Department of State already requires many visa applicants to submit their social media handles on visa applications. USCIS, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, has also built systems to screen social media activity of immigration applicants, including green card applicants and naturalization applicants. What are they looking for? Posts that suggest deception on immigration applications, content that appears to support terrorist organizations or violent movements, evidence of criminal activity, posts that contradict what someone stated on their immigration forms. If you said on your visa application that you had no ties to a certain country, but your Facebook or Instagram tells a different story, that is a problem. Now, Let's talk about the three specific types of immigrants who are at the highest risk right now, especially if they are traveling internationally and returning to the United States. If you are in the United States on any non-immigrant visa, whether that is a student visa, a work visa, or a tourist visa, you are in a vulnerable position every time you cross the border. Here is why. Your visa can be revoked at any time, even while you are outside the United States. And when you return, a CBP officer has full authority to deny your admission, even if your visa is still technically valid. If that officer searches your phone and finds something they consider suspicious, a message about working without authorization, a conversation about overstaying, a political post that raises flags, they can deny you entry on the spot. We have seen cases where students returned from a vacation abroad and were detained for hours because of WhatsApp group chats, some related to protests, some simply political discussions, that officers found concerning. What should you do if you are a visa holder? Before traveling, carefully review your WhatsApp chats, your texts, and your social media. Delete any messages that could be taken out of context, especially about work, immigration status, or politics. Make sure your social media is consistent with your visa category and your statements to the government. Consider traveling with a clean device, a phone with only essential apps and no sensitive message history. Always consult with an immigration attorney before international travel. Many green card holders, also called lawful permanent residents or LPRs, believe they are fully protected. After all, they have a green card. They are permanent residents. But here is the truth that many people do not know. Green card holders can be denied re-entry into the United States. This can happen if you have been outside the U.S. for more than 180 days, which can trigger questions about whether you have abandoned your residency. You have criminal convictions, even minor ones, that make you inadmissible. CBP finds evidence on your devices or social media that you have been misrepresenting your situation. There have been recent high-profile cases of green card holders, some of them long-term residents, who were stopped at the airport, had their devices searched, and were placed in removal proceedings based on what was found. This is not theoretical. This is happening. What should you do if you are a green card holder? Limit trips outside the U.S. to under 6 months whenever possible. If you must travel longer, speak to an immigration attorney about a re-entry permit. Clean your devices before travel. Same advice as visa holders. Carry documentation that proves your ties to the United States, lease agreements, employment letters, bank statements. Know your rights. You have the right to remain silent beyond confirming your identity and immigration status. This is perhaps the most sensitive category. If you have a pending immigration case, whether it is an asylum case, an adjustment of status application, or any other pending benefit, international travel is extremely dangerous right now. Leaving the U.S. with a pending case can automatically abandon your application in many situations. And for DACA recipients, people protected under deferred action for childhood arrivals, the situation is even more serious. DACA recipients generally should not travel internationally without advance parole, special travel authorization. And even with advance parole, travel right now carries significant risk because the future of DACA itself remains legally uncertain. If a DACA recipient travels without advance parole and tries to return, they can be barred from re-entry and could trigger a 10-year bar on returning to the United States. Additionally, if your social media or WhatsApp messages suggest that you entered the country in a way that contradicts your immigration filings, or if there is anything that raises doubts about your case, an officer at the border has the authority to act on that information. What should you do? Do not travel internationally if you have a pending immigration case, period, unless your attorney has specifically cleared it. For DACA recipients, consult an immigration attorney before any international travel, even to Canada or Mexico. Keep all your immigration documents organized and accessible. Before we close, here are quick but critical tips for protecting yourself digitally before any international travel. Number 1, review and clean your WhatsApp. Go through your chats, personal and group chats. Delete anything that could be misunderstood, anything about your immigration status, anything politically sensitive. Number 2, back up and log out of sensitive apps. You can back up your data to the cloud, then delete apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, or Signal from your physical phone before crossing the border. You can reinstall them after entry. Number 3. Set strong passwords and use biometric locks. CBP can ask you to unlock your phone, but you are not required to give them your passcode, though refusing has consequences for non-citizens. Know the difference. Number 4. Review your social media privacy settings. Make your past posts private or limited. Be especially careful about posts that involve your work, your travels, or anything related to immigration. Number 5. Consult an immigration attorney before you travel. This is not optional anymore. It is a necessary step, especially in the current enforcement climate. Let me summarize what we covered today. U.S. border authorities, CBP and ICE, have broad legal authority to search your electronic devices at any port of entry. This includes your WhatsApp messages, your photos, your social media accounts, and your contacts. Under the current administration, this authority is being used more aggressively than ever before. The 3 types of immigrants at the highest risk are 1. Visa holders, including students and workers. 2. Green card holders, especially those who travel frequently or for long periods. 3. People with pending immigration cases, and DACA recipients. The best thing you can do right now is be aware of your digital footprint, clean your devices before travel. Consult an immigration attorney before any international trip and stay informed, because immigration policy is changing fast. Knowledge is your best protection. If this video helped you or someone you know, please like it, share it with your community, and most importantly, subscribe to Immigration Radar USA so you never miss a critical update. Leave a comment below if you have questions, or if you want us to cover a specific immigration topic. Thank you for watching Immigration Radar USA. Subscribe for the latest U.S. immigration updates, because staying informed is staying protected.